went to an estate sale. Sorry about the stain on my sweater. I dropped some food down the front of me eating lunch. That means it's good. If you're wearing your food, you know it was good. But anyway, I picked up some lights at this estate sale, and we're gonna go through them here in this video. And also for the car video, you know, I have viewers that watch my channel just for the lights, some that watch my channel just for the fans, and some for just the cars, and some watch them all or whatever. But anyway, I am gonna do some work on this soon. I don't know, maybe even before Christmas. Next week we're supposed to get a bunch of snow, but I want to pull this panel off here and repaint it, strip it and repaint it. I've never repainted that panel. That's the panel has been on there since I bought the car, and the paint is all kind of cracked and checked on it, and I assume it's been repainted in the past. It looks like it may have been, but it was by the previous owner or body shop or whatever back in the day when this car was still an everyday kind of new car. But anyway, I'm gonna pop that off. It's just held on with some screws up here. It's no big deal to get off, and some screws down below. You can see a little crack in the paint. I don't know if that shows up right there or not, but anyway, that's going to come off and strip it and repaint it. Meantime though, I got this sickness. I can't go to an estate sale without buying Christmas lights if they're there. I was just looking to see if that's a twinkler. It doesn't look like it. I don't see the little arm in it that makes it blink. So a lot of the transparent ones are twinklers, but these ones don't appear to be. But yeah, there's the twisted glass bulbs. These are those old cloth cord wiring, but it's all been severely taped up, so I don't think I'll use the wiring. Got one of these things you can screw into a light socket and plug these in, which overloads the light socket because most light sockets are good for 60 watts, and one of these in a 25 light set is 250 watts because these bulbs are 10 watts a piece. And looks like there's C7s. Got some satin glow, the GE, tons and tons of C7s, a lot of satin glows in here, GEs, cloth wire. There's one C6, but the wiring's been cut to it, so I don't know. I'll have to try that with the battery, see if the bulb's good. I don't really collect the C6 bulbs because when one goes out, the whole set goes out. They're wired in series, and that's even a GE. I don't know if that shows up there or not, but they're just kind of they're not as fun because it's aggravating finding the bad bulb. C6 GE. I'll set each of the sockets out so you can kind of see the difference in them. There's the three bulbs, C6, C7, C9. So those are typically about 7 watts. These are about 9.5 watts, or actually C9.5s is what they truly used to call them, because they're they're 9.5 watts. That one's, like I say, C7, that was 7 watts. C6, I don't know if that meant it was 6 watts or what, but you can see that base is significantly smaller. All three are G bulbs, if I didn't already mention that. I unboxed them all, so I got a lot of lights to go through here, and even a lot of in the box. There's even a miniature set of lights, see if they work. A lot of bulbs in here. That's a blinker. You can see that. Well, maybe it doesn't show up, but there's a big thick arm in there, and that's what it's a bimetal strip. It gets hot and it breaks the circuit and cools off, hits against the bar and makes a circuit. It says GE D26 on it, and there's probably some other ones in here too. That's a blinker. That one is not a blinker. So there is some blinkers, some non-blinkers, and these were all C7 sets. This was the only C6 bulb. There was other boxes of lights at the estate sale, but most of them were miniature lights like that, and I'm just not interested in those. I just have this sickness for the C7 and C9 lights where I gotta buy and hoard every one I see up. And you know, I have thousands of these lamps. I don't know why I keep buying them. I should just resign myself to stop buying them. But anyway, let's see what works with these C7s here. Some of these light sets I cannot like this one, I cannot get this thing untangled enough, get the cord out to reach the plug, so I'm using a extension cord. Hopefully there's no bare wires that's short on my bench. That one's dead. That one's loose, I think. Yeah, that one was just loose in the socket. That one's dead. I'll try them in a different socket. Sometimes the sockets are bad. And yeah, so that one's okay then. Try this one in this socket. So this string of lights will go in the garbage. I'll just use it for the bulbs. Yep, so that light's dead. So I'll just throw the dead bulbs away. That one keeps flickering, but I think it's the socket. Alright, so we're going to go through and I'm going to check the bulbs. I'm going to put one of these blinkers in here, see if this works. I got to make, some of these wires are bare hanging out of the edge of the socket too, so I don't want to zap myself. Oh, that one's dead, unless the nope, I can see the filament's broken. So these two are dead. That one was good, I think. Let me just go through and we'll check them out. I'm going to bring a garbage can over here so I can throw things away as I find them garbage. This string of lights here looks pretty decent. I'll probably keep this wiring, and that was one bulb that was working. But I'm going to grab some of these that were in this box, the C7s, and test them in the light string too. Just putting the good bulbs in a box I have over here, and then I'll put obviously throw the bad ones and the bad wiring away. But this wiring looks pretty good, so I'll probably keep it. I have so much wiring that, you know, I mean, it's just, this amount of stuff I have is just unbelievable. That one's dead. These are soldered sockets, so if these ones don't work, they're bad. That one's ultra bright. Yeah, that one's no good. You can see somebody put a replacement plug on this set. I don't see any bare wire. Might be a good set. I usually don't keep them if they have a replacement plug. I have so many of these sets, like I say, I just don't see any. There, those are all illuminated. Oops, this one isn't tight yet. That one's a pink. Alright, all of those illuminate. This one has a good plug on it. These are, you know, 7 light sets. They're really kind of not that useful. This one has satin glows in it too. And they're all good too. So let's see how these ones illuminate. They all illuminate. They all look good. There's a old black letter GE. These G's here are like from the late 70s, early 80s. You can see how the paint. These are outside painted and they peeled really bad too, but if they were outside in the wet. But you can see how the color is really, let me turn the light off here. You can see how the color is really uneven on that bulb, as opposed to the earlier G blue, that the color is really even, and you can see even the older G, they're a little uneven. This one's got some dirt on it here, but you can kind of see, you know, and that's why I like these old incandescents. Look at that, 2 blues and a green. And all three bulbs have a different look to them. There's a green, like late 70s, early 80s, probably early 80s. These ones I think were around until 79 or 80. And there, it's just an old outside painted bulb. But there you go. You can kind of see every bulb has a little bit different look to it. That's why I like these old incandescents. And then the yellow there is a satin glow, and then just a outside painted. This is the last set of G's. This one has like bobby pins all in the wiring. I'm wondering if that's how they held it on to something. I just don't want one of those bobby pins to end up in a socket somewhere and give me a shock through the, you know, if it's touching the table. So that string is going to go in the garbage, I think. But anyway, let's plug it in and see what it does. And again, I got a lot of loose bulbs here. That red's out. So there's washers on some of them. That's what you're supposed to have, keep them tight in these style of sockets. But when the washers are missing, they loosen up. That's one of those 80s GEs that's painted that peels. You can see the paint a little bit down on the socket too. They're the ones that kind of give you that annoying uneven color, but I kind of like that annoying uneven color because that is what makes the bulbs unique. So I think that's it with the C7s. Oh, I got a string of C7s here. I'll go over the box because the box is half the fun on these. It's got a Damon's Hardware $4.95 sticker on there. And I suspect these are probably early 80s also. These cool bright are kind of a transparent bulb. And I like the looks of them. They're neat bulbs. There, they show the cool bright and the twinkle bright. This is like a cool bright right here. So let's pull that out and see what they are. Oh, and then did I say there was some miniature? And I'm not going to test these, but it says made in Italy on these. These are 12 volts, so you'd use those in a 10 light set. These are 2.5 volts, so you probably use these in like a 50 light set or something. You just, you know, figure your voltage that you need of how many bulbs you have. Like here, you had 10 bulbs or 12 volts. So anyway, there we go. We got some miniature lamps too. Let's start looking at the C9s too. Let's take these out and see if what's in here works. Yeah, let's see. That's a 15 set too. The set looks like it's in really nice shape. Yeah, it looks like a brand new light set. That bulb's broken. I can see the filaments missing in it, so I'm just going to throw it right away. No point even trying it. There we go. A couple loose bulbs. They all work, the ones that are left. Yeah, I like those type of bulbs, but I just don't use them on my Christmas tree. I like the opaque ones more than the translucent ones. They're just a little easier on the eyes. Even the blinkers on my Christmas tree, I try and use the opaque ones. I do have a bunch of these in twinklers, probably a couple hundred of these in twinklers in the C7s, and probably in the C9s I probably have several hundred of them in twinklers. But again, I like the opaque twinklers, so I probably have, I'm going to guess, a couple hundred inside painted ceramic coated C9 blinkers and probably 300 or 400 exterior painted C9 blinkers. And anyway, so there we got a good light set with the box. So these ones are the 5-watt ones, so these use definitely less, a couple watts per bulb, which adds up if you put a ton up. I like the old packaging. That's why I'm showing you the packaging too, because it's kind of fun. I like reading the directions on the old packages. I like the artwork. They're just cool. I just have to say I do like them. It says made entirely in the United States. How do you like that? General Electric Company, Bellevue, Ohio, 44811. There's the Nela Park, Cleveland, Ohio on there. Been by that facility. It's kind of neat. These have been out of the box already. They've been used, but I'm keeping the box. I'm keeping this because like I say, I like them when I like having the original boxes, even if they're empty and there's no light sets in them. I have enough light sets. I can always find a light set to put in the box. You know, is missing. It's not all the correct contents of the box. The light string's correct. The light string would have been folded up in this part of the box. And then in the C7 version, this is a C9 version, and look at that. It has a Kmart Department 90, 69 cents for this 4-pack of Merry Bright C9s. So you would have got the Cool Bright C7s in this box. They would have packed them in where these bulbs are. They would have put these packs in there. The older ones had like a cardboard sleeve that the bulbs just stood up in. The newer ones like this, they actually put the packs, GE put the packs in there. And GE did that. I'm talking about GE lights. But this is, like I say, the C9. I don't have a C7 box out here to show you what it would have looked like, so I'm just using the C9 box. All right, let's tackle a C9, see what we got there. This is the next set I'm going to try. I took the screw-in socket plug thing off. And this set, I think, is going to be, I think it's 2 sets because there's 2 female plugs here, but I can only find 1 male plug. So actually there's 3 female plugs. So I guess there's 3 sets here. But I can't see any other. I looked all over for another, you know, male plugs, so who knows? Somebody might have really ultra cobbled this set. So let's see if everything goes dark, we know we blew the circuit breaker because it's dark outside. So if I blow the breaker, it's going to be dark in here. Nope. That one I suspect is the cause of the socket as to why it's not illuminated. I'll try this one in another socket. That could just be a bad socket. So there's another one of those washers that keep the bulbs tight in these type of sockets. Nope, so the bulb's bad. See, sometimes the wiring's messed up, so you always want to check your bulbs in some other sockets. See, there's nothing wrong with that. You move the socket. This one, the wiring is just so bad on it that I'm almost nervous just touching the set. Whoops. I think that bulb and that bulb's good. It's just the bad socket. Hopefully I didn't destroy this one dropping it on the bench. Should put a towel down, I guess. Yeah, that one's good. We just got a bad socket again. Could be the stupid, these fiber washers. I think the bulb's okay. I think it's just the not making a good contact. And maybe, well, see, this one goes on and off too as I move it. So I think it's the socket, not the lamp. Did I determine this one was bad? I should throw it away if it is. Yeah, it is. So I don't end up with bulbs here that are bad on the bench going in with other bulbs. Okay, that bulb's no good. I save these even when they're burned out. I know somebody that takes them and glues them all together and makes Christmas wreaths with these old C9 bulbs, and they really like these, so I always save them and give them away. It's a shame kind of to throw these away. The inside of the sockets are all like brand new. They must have been used on a porch or something, but you know, when I see all this cobbled up tape and you know, I mean, it's just, and there was a couple broken sockets, the Bakelite's broken on them, and I just don't want to take a chance. These are riveted together, otherwise I'd cut them off and save them. Usually these are more bother to save to reuse than they're worse, so I'm just throwing the whole. Sometimes I save the plug ends, like sometimes some of them have a little nut and a screw. You get set with a broken one, you can fix it. But when they're this bad, yeah, that's going in the trash can. And then this is again like early 80s GE that the paint peeled on, like those C7s I was showing you. See all the paint on the base there? And this is the probably pre-79. Actually, the later ones, like when you got in the later 70s, they had a big GE logo And I showed one in my past video, but they don't last. They have like, the hours of life of those is nothing. I don't know if it says the hours of life on these. No, it doesn't. But they came in boxes similar to these, and they had the, there, this is them right there, the big GE logo on them. These bulbs do not last. I'll go through, these are the ones that burn out the most on me, these GEs with, I like them the least with that big GE. Yeah, they're all the same. That huge, see the difference in size of the GE logo? The ones with the bigger logo just don't last, and I don't like them. And some of them, they have the GE logo and they say D27 under, and they're a little dimmer and they last. My favorite bulbs are these really deep ones. When I come across them, I'll show you. Like these ones right here. And these ones don't really say anything on the base. On the very bottom it says 120 volt Japan. These bulbs, I have some of these bulbs I've used probably 20 years now and still illuminate on the light sets out there. And they just last forever. I love them. The blues, some of the blues are really deep. You can't even tell they're on unless it's totally dark. But they just last forever. I just really like them. Another side of the lights here with a little shady wiring. This had a tag on it, Underwriters Laboratories. It says for indoor and outdoor use, part number 071445, Noma Electric Company, New York, New York. And then it's got the string number U, it says. And it's the Underwriter Laboratories UL. Back in the day, if you bought electrical appliances, you looked for that UL label. If it didn't have the UL label, you set it down and bought something else. That was something. Early Christmas light advertising, if you look at some of the old stuff, will say it's UL rated. So yeah, they test them out and make sure they're safe to use. And it says Noma on the back of the socket. And made in USA. I don't know if that shows up on there or not. It says it on the, just says USA on the plug. Whether that shows up in the video or not, I don't know. We will find out when I go to edit it, won't we? Let's plug this in, and this is taped up, so I don't know what that means. I'm going to take the tape off just for the heck of it. And yeah, it looks okay. I don't know why they had tape on it. Actually, the wiring looks pretty decent. Might keep that wiring if it looks, like I say, if the wiring looks good, I don't throw it away. And all these bulbs work, and I'm thinking this might be a good set because the wiring actually looks really good, and it's not those pinprick sockets. Those other ones, these little pricks just go through the wire insulation. You get a little corrosion from a couple of years use or something in there, and you twist the wire such they stop illuminating, or somebody over tightens the bulb and it pulls the ground one up. You got to take a little screwdriver and push it back into the wire, or this pushes the other tab down too far. Maybe you had a bulb that was longer on one, and you got to pull the tab back, that little metal tab that's in the bottom. Make sure your lights are unplugged if you have to do that. Dead? Yeah, well, no, I can see the filament wiggling around in there. That's dead, so that's going in the garbage bin. Whoops. Yep, there you go. You got to see one. Hope it didn't ruin the socket, but you got to see one spark there. That happens. It's part of doing them. You can see where it melted the solder on the end of the bulb there. And sometimes, especially on those kind that have the little thing pricked in there, little pin thing, it often burns that little pin thing away and ruins the socket. So I often cut sockets out of some of the wires I'm throwing away, and then I can repair the sets because I can use those brass terminal things in the in the socket that have burned out. If they just pushing it out, it's easy to pop the socket apart, pop it off, and it just takes a couple seconds to do it. That's a small logo GE. That'll be a good bulb there to have. This is a large logo GE. That's good. This is one of those that run forever. These ones are the most durable of all the bulbs. Another GE, small logo. This is an outside painted one. That one's dead. Another outside painted that's dead. That one just went like a flash bulb, so that's dead. Maybe we'll get another one to spark. Dead, or no, good I mean. Yeah, that's one of the that lasts forever. Dead. Alright, I'll go through and check them out and then we'll go from there. So of the loose bulbs, these three were bad, those ones are good. Whoops, broke one throwing, they're starting to pile up in the can. So anyway, whoops, I might as well just try this one, seeing it fell out of the package, right? So all I got left to try are these, and I'll try them out and then we'll continue the video. This is the kind of box that a lot of light sets, when you buy them, the bulbs would come in that are non-GE. And this is where I keep my spare bulbs that I use outside at the Christmas time. And I've gone through some bulbs, so I might as well refill. I put a green in, an orange, a blue, and one of each of those. I don't have another one of each. Well, I do now. Might as well just, you know, ooh, baby, that warm. Let's see, we need another yellow. Need a blue, 2 more blues, and 3 more whites. And the front lights are around the porch are green and red, and the ones in the tree out in front, the bush, are all white. They're C9s. That's a 15 light set in that tree. I'll show them too. Maybe not in this video, maybe in a future video. We're supposed to get snow next week. If we do, you'll get a video with those lights with the snow, because there's nothing nicer than Christmas lights, these old vintage Christmas lights, and snow. They go hand in hand together. All right, let me get another string here. I was just checking the bulbs in the boxes, and they've all worked, but there's one of the small logo that says D14 on it. I hope that shows up in the video. I don't have I'm using my GoPro clipped to my bench, and it's my old GoPro, my Hero 3, and I can't see the screen on it the way it's clipped, so I have no idea what you guys are gonna see until I'm inside editing. So anyway, this bulb was out of this box too, but this is not. This is one of those that lasts forever. And so all the ones in the boxes have worked, so I already tested these. So let me get another string of lights. Very brights. This is the one out of this box, and all 4 of these are the same. They have the big G logo. On the blue bulb, it's black, and you can only see it when it's illuminated. On the yellow bulb, it's white, and you can see it on or off. On this green bulb, it's double stamped, and it's white, GE logo. And this one, it's single stamped, a white GE logo. So, you know, that's, again, another nutty thing I have with I got these ginormous Tupperware bins, and I probably got a dozen of them packed full, and they're all, most of them are bulbs, and then I have enough sets, just new in the box, old C9 lights that fill another 2 of them. Yeah, it's definitely I need to really watch what I'm buying. I'm just going nuts. I don't know why I can't walk away from this stuff. But anyway, I'm going to put the 2 bulbs back in this pack that came out of it. All right, let's move on. I turned the light off. Maybe that'll be nicer for illuminating these, just to see what works and what doesn't. That socket's broken, so I got part of the socket came out with it. In fact, the whole base of the socket came out with it. Yeah, so that set's no good. Bulb's good, so we got a bunch of nice spare bulbs, another white for my box, another blue for my box, and now I'm getting down to where all I need is 2 more whites, and we'll have a full box of spares. I took that twisted glass green out of that other set and put it in here and put one of the outside painted ones in it, because I like to take these out of their sockets and put them in one of these so that, you know, less chance of them getting broken. I love those bulbs and I use them, but I don't use a lot. I have maybe 500 of them, or I probably got 10 or 15 boxes, maybe 20 boxes like this of just twisted glass bulbs. So yeah, I got a ton of them. This is a newer set. It has a fuse plug. You can push this thing forward out that way, and there's a fuse in here. This set here is all outside painted, and everything looks like new on it. So if it was used undercover, or it was only used a season or two. And if my wiring goes bad, I use a lot of this style that are fused, because, you know, if I wouldn't leave them on unattended. Like if I use those cloth cord ones, I would only turn them on when I'm right there. I just don't, I like them, but I just don't trust them that much. So this is what I use when they're just running unattended outside. And we just got a couple loose bulbs here. That bulb's tight, but it's out, so that's probably a bad bulb. I'll try another socket just for the heck of it. Sometimes it is just the, yeah, no, it's a bad bulb, so we'll just throw this aside. We'll keep the whole set bulbs in. Why not? That's another fused one. You can see the door is missing. The set looks pretty well used, but still looks usable. It's got had these on them, so somebody must have clipped them up with those. And a lot of the paint is peeled on the outside paint bulbs. One bulb out here. Yeah, tightening out, didn't illuminate it. And again, we'll check it in another socket. You never know when you have a bad socket. No, dead bulb. And so I'll just set this aside, because that wiring is totally usable. Here, throw it in the trash can, maybe you'll hear it bust too. No, that one didn't break. Another set, fuse plug. Fuse covers on. This one had a loose bulb and laying in the nest here. See if yeah, the bulb's bad. I can see the filament in there through where paint's peeled on the, sorry, not another broken bulb. This doesn't, yeah, that doesn't fit in the socket, so I'll have to try that. So this wiring I probably would not use, because if I can't screw the old bulbs into it, so this has like little fake threads in their plastic lines, and the old bulbs just don't like that. They like the flat socket, or the ones with a, you know, just a little dash, and they're not the lines like that. They're just kind of round. They're not, they don't curve down. So they just kind of I put WD-40 on it, would go right in. And I'm gonna, if that bulb's good, it's going in my spare bulbs. I need a couple whites too, so I might as well just, here, rob them. Right, there we go. So I gotta, and then if this yellow is good, this is all refilled. Yeah, this set I'm not gonna save. This set, it's looks fairly new and unused, and it's got a fused plug, but geez, it feels like something cheaper than dollar store. Nothing lights up. Why does that not surprise me? That bulb's not tight. Yeah, and I bet the bulbs are no good in it too. Unless the fuse is blown. We'll take the bulbs out and try them in another wire, but that wiring is going in the trash. These ones are on some Jim Dandy little board here. The plug end's been replaced on them, and they got these clips like this all over them. And we'll see what they do. Yeah, they all illuminate. Let's see if one of those other old bulbs will fit that one that wouldn't fit the other set. Does. And the bulb's good, so that finishes our box of spares there. And we got another set of lights that I think I'll just keep as they are. If there's any bad bulbs here, I'll take them out and throw them away. There is a couple bad ones. That one's actually illuminated. It's just really, it's just so dark. Let me clean the I don't know if you can see just down in there. It is illuminated though, believe me. Wow, is that thing dark. It's hard to tell it's illuminated here in the garage without, when this light's on, yeah, it doesn't look illuminated. This one was not illuminated. I just checked those bulbs from that other string. There was 2 bad ones and 4 good ones. And that's that really dim when it is illuminated. All right, let me, one more string, let's get it out and give it a try. Actually, I do have one more set after this set. It's one in the box still. This set I'm going to throw away no matter what because of that. You know, when they're cut up like that, I just have so many, I just don't need to save them. And all those bulbs work. Good deal. This is the last of the sets of lights. Sears and Roebuck. You gotta turn it around every time you want to read it. It's probably because they printed it out flat. Anyway, yeah, there's the... I don't see any price on it anymore, but I bet these are the Sears Roebuck lights. Looks like there's tree branches and stuff. Still pine needles and stuff in them, so they must put them in a evergreen tree. See the... They definitely put them in an evergreen. Alright, let's see what happens. Everything looks really nice on this set. Let's take a look in one of the sockets. Oh yeah, they look nice. A nice set of vintage lights. A little wire, maybe they're hanging it on. I like getting that stuff out of there because if it gets in the socket and I have, you know, this isn't polarized, so if it's the outside edge is the edge that's running hot, you know, if I touched it like that, I'd get zapped. If that was running neutral, I wouldn't feel it. But if that was running the line, the black wire from on your house current, yeah, it would not feel good. So that's why I kind of like to just look at the sets. All right, let's. Oh, there's some more wires. I just want to get these off. Let me get all those wires off. I like this set of lights. This looks like a really good set of lights, but I can see why they had the wires. Some of these clip. The branch clip, and the little metal lip tab is broke off, so they probably had to wire them to branches. But this estate sale that I got these from was just around the corner from me. It was 3 streets over. I couldn't resist, you know. I saw them, and I use estatesales.net, and then you can, you know, put in your zip code or wherever. Hey, they all work except for one there, and that one works. It's probably just, you know, because of the socket and the wire. I bet you twist the wire, sometimes they come on. But anyway, there we go. Or it's just dirty. Every single bulb's illuminated. How deep that blue is. Those are like what I was showing you earlier, and like the GE blue. I don't know if it shows up in the camera. So often even the colors, you can't tell the difference between some of the colors. So that's red, that's blue, that's green, that's yellow. That's kind of an orangey color, another yellow. So, you know, 2 greens here, 3 reds there. Just so you kind of get an idea what the colors look like when you're watching the video. They definitely look, the bulbs look totally different in the video than what they do in reality. So that's one of those that really lasts. See how deep that blue is? And I like the way they look on, you know, they're just the way the paint is in them, they're different. That's a GE D24, and it's a little dimmer than, say, this GE or this one with the big, I can't see the GE logo, I don't think, on my camera, but they just don't last like the, does that one show up, the GE logo? They just don't last. So these ones are the ones that burn out all the time. These ones are the ones that just last for absolutely ever. And there's a green smaller GE logo. Those ones last, but not like these really, there's one of the greens. They just last forever. I don't know, I hope the pattern in the paint shows up in the bulb. That's why I like using these old incandescent C9s, is all the bulbs look slightly different. Sorry, my motion light turned on. But yeah, there, look at that red. It's super cool the way it looks. That's one of those that lasts forever too. That's one that, an orange that lasts forever, blue GE. Yeah, just really, that's an outside painted one. Most of my bulbs are inside paint, ceramic coated. My grandparents' candle. These have LED bulbs in it. All my blow molds have LED. You know, I mean, you can't really tell with them with this plastic thing on them. And I'm already running, okay, each string of lights is 250 watts, and there's 4 sets on there, so there's 1,000 watts and C9 lights running right now. So I didn't need another 75 watts and blow molds running, so because these would have 25 watt light bulbs in them originally if they're incandescent. So I found some LEDs that were the same brightness as an old school 25 watt, and that's what's in my blow molds. So anyway, they're just kind of showing you some of them outside here. Yeah, my snowman I got in Savannah when I lived there, because you don't get snow there, and so I thought, well, I'll put a snowman out in the front yard and people wonder what the heck it is. You know, I'm just all teasing you. If you're from the south, I'm teasing you, sorry, but it's just, that's what I put there, and I just kind of like it, so I just put it out here in the backyard. Kind of nice. I can see out in the back really nice and easily. Good vision out to the backyard, so I see these from in the house. Even if I'm sitting in the living room, I can look out through the dining room and kitchen right out the window, and if I stand up I can see all this stuff too, but I can see all the lights on the garage and stuff. Yeah, that's an awesome set of Sears lights. I definitely use these. The wiring's in good shape. I like the sockets, you know, when I mount them on the garage or wherever, use these other clips, so these clips don't even matter. They're not even used on the way I hook them to the garage. But yeah, that's just super cool. I like that. I'll definitely, and all of them, every single one of them's a inside ceramic coated bulb except for one, and that's that one, and it's a C9 satin glow. And yeah, kind of super happy. So I'll show you what all we got here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 25s. I think that one's a 7. This is a 25. All the spare bulbs in there. Every one of them works, those packs. You saw that, the C7s. And the garbage, and a few plugs there. Well, that's a decent sized box of lights. All that, I paid 10 bucks for everything. And this is just super cool. This is that dead swirl bulb, I'm going to say, if I just set it there so it won't get broken. But yeah, it was super cool. I had the pine needles in it still, you know, and like I say, I could just walk over by the house again and see if there's a tree with needles like that. Who knows when that was last used? They could have re-landscaped, or the tree could just be mountainous now, you know, super tall. But there we go, a nice set of vintage, you know, like I say, I have subscribers that'll watch just for this, and every year I usually go through my bins and I'll pull them out and I'll sort through them so I can put, like, you know, the one bin will have like these sets with outside painted, green wiring, modern. I call them modern. They're my least of the favorite of the C9s, but you know, I like having them around because I remember them, and I do use the bulbs because that's what makes them all unique. You have some outside painted ones too, and some even with some little bit of peeling, you know, that's what they did. So I don't even mind ones that have a little bit of peeling or some imperfections in the paint. That's what, you know, makes them all unique to LED. And so anyway, that's it. I'll sort through these and some other boxes I have probably when I put stuff away, you know, and that way I can put the loose bulbs. I have bins that have those empty 25 pack things that from over the years of using bulbs. I go through probably 25-30 bulbs a year with the amount of bulbs I put up. I got maybe a dozen 25 light sets out there, and so anyway, that's it for this video. I'm going to wrap it up here and call it a night. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Merry Christmas to everybody. If you liked the video, definitely hit that like button, it helps. And hit that 348 engine icon that pops up there. That'll subscribe you, and we'll get some videos of doing some work on this. We'll get that that rear center valance off next. I think is going to be my next little odds and ends. I'm just going to fix a lot of little nickel and dime odds and ends on it, and that's one of the things I want to do with this winter, along with the grill screen moldings. I've been looking into seat fabric, can't really find anything original reproduced. I guess I'm going to call SMS, but I've hunted around for new old stock, some old upholstery shops and stuff, and they've long been out of it. So I'm going to probably at least pull a seat and refoam it, pull the covers off and put new padding and everything. And it's just beat down the padding in it. When I had the upholstery done, I'll tell you a little, maybe I'll make a separate video on it. I'll talk about that in a separate video. This is just about the bulbs. So I'm going to end it here, and if I don't make a video on that in the very near future, shoot me a comment and remind me, and I'll get to it. Anyway, that's it for this video.